Amidst the vast expanse of profound philosophical contemplation, captivating debates emerge concerning the essence of the soul, the enigma of rebirth, and the elusive nature of faith. Certain beliefs propose the immortal nature of the soul, existing before life's inception and transcending beyond the horizon of death. Others contend that the soul is earned through profound experiences, suffering, and hardships. Nestled in the core of human consciousness lies a compelling notion of fate, the preordained design of the future, veiled from comprehension yet inevitably unfolding. Within these concepts, we encounter Spike, a being in the Buffy-verse who embodies those philosophies spectacularly. In this video, we will delve into the turning points of Spike's journey and explore how these philosophies epitomised his very existence. Spike stands as a remarkable anomaly in the Buffy-verse, challenging our knowledge of vampires within it. In the absence of a soul, he was able to demonstrate acts of kindness and heroism, even showing remorse for a monumentally diabolical action that pushed him to fight for his soul. His character underwent such profound transformation that, even in his darkest moments, we couldn't help but root for him. Born William Pratt in the 1800s, Spike was an unappreciated romantic bard that was looked down upon by his peers, earning himself the moniker William the Bloody for his bloody awful poetry. He doted on his mother and lived a life of unfilled potential. After confessing to Cecily how he feels, he is brutally rejected.
You're beneath me.
And fate has him run into Drusilla. Broken-hearted and filled with regret, he is sired by Drusilla, has his soul stripped from him, and is reborn as a vampire. In 1997, fate directed Spike to Sunnydale. Unbeknownst to him, this was the beginning of his transformative path towards reclaiming his soul. His first pivotal moment came when he chose to align with Buffy and prevent Angelus from destroying the world. Though this action was more to do with his love for Drusilla and his hatred for Angelus rather than the deed of doing good, it determined the course for his undead existence. In 2000, fate dealt Spike another hand, when the Initiative captured and experimented on him. They implanted a behaviour modification chip into his brain, forcing him to ignore his baser instincts as a vampire.
I can't bite anything. I can't even hit people.
His past evils could be seen as the cause of this karmic event, pushing him to confront his true nature and purpose. It's important to remember that the chip is not the equivalent to having a soul. Without the chip, Spike's journey would have probably come to a dusty end. Rather, it seems the fates, the powers that be if you will, had intervened, giving him a guiding step to set him on the right path. During those initial stages of his new constrained life, he oscillated between aiding the Scoobies and trying to be who he once was. He grappled with understanding his true self, a sort of subconscious soul searching, metaphorically speaking. Then in Season 5, Episode 4, Out of My Mind, Spike has a revelation that he is in fact in love with Buffy. Something I believe he has been suppressing since Season 2, and that fate itself has been directing him towards this for some time. He really doesn't know what to do with himself once he accepts his feelings, and at the time I saw this as a conundrum, asking myself if you can truly love without a soul. Soulless love seems selfish, possessive and violent. Soulful love is supposed to be selfless, kind, and in a way independent from each other while also being stronger for being together. Or at least that's how it should be. Nevertheless, Spike's love for Buffy had a profound impact on his spiritual evolution. In the episode Fool for Love, Spike describes to Buffy how he murdered 2 of the previous Slayers. The deaths of these 2 Slayers, I believe, were destined to happen by his hand. His obsession with Slayers what ultimately connects him to Buffy during the last phase of his soulless days. The knowledge from Spike helps Buffy understand her role as the Slayer, helping to make her better than those that preceded her. She crushes him by saying that he is beneath her.
It would never be you. You're beneath me.
Enraged at her words, he goes to her home, toting a shotgun, ready for the kill. But the second he sees her breaking from her mother's illness, he lets his anger go, asks if there is anything he can do, and just sits with her so she isn't alone with her pain. Even though technically he has what he wants, a vulnerable Buffy, I honestly believe this is probably the first instance that he shows he could be capable of real love. It's a turning point in his growth, and I believe it was a small moment when the man in Spike managed to suppress the demon. Despite this growth, his inner conflict persisted. This was exemplified in the episode Crush, when Drusilla returned. You can see his apprehension about going back to the killer he once was, before the vampire in him feasted on the dead victim that Drusilla fed him. He was completely lost at this point, and battling who he was, what he had become, and the uncertainty of who he was going to be. As annoyed as he gets at both Drew and Buffy, his real anger is at himself. He's battling his vampiric urges against who he knows he should be, for Buffy to truly see him. His lack of a soul is also apparent here, as he can't differentiate between selfless love and selfish love. Because of this, and his actions regarding Drusilla, Buffy uninvites him from her home, banishing him from being part of her life. For a time. After Joyce passes away, Spike helps Dawn get the required items to resurrect her. This is another selfless act on his part, as he actually cared for Joyce. He also knows how much the loss of Joyce had affected both Buffy and Dawn, and just wanted to help ease their pain without caring what happened to himself. I honestly think he just wanted to make amends for his recent actions, and attempt to balance his karmic scale. His next turning point came when he was kidnapped and tortured by Glory in Season 5's intervention. It's his first instance of selfless love. He would rather have been dusted than given away Dawn's identity. His affection for Dawn and his love for Buffy shone like a beacon during the entire episode.
Anything happened to Dawn, it'd destroy her. Couldn't live her being in that much pain. Let Glory kill me first. Nearly bloody did.
It was one step closer to earning Buffy's respect, drawing him ever closer to being ready to earn his soul.
What you did for me and Dawn, that was real. I won't forget it.
The next spiritually changing moment for Spike came when Buffy died. He felt complete failure and hopelessness, I think for the first time since losing his soul. The way he watches over Dawn after Buffy's demise shows that even without a soul, he can still care and be kind. His overprotective eye over Dawn has always been there, and it's more apparent now than it's ever been, since he failed to rescue Dawn and save Buffy from dying. Buffy is resurrected, quite literally the happiest moment in Spike's entire existence, and she attaches herself to Spike. He is the only one who truly understands what it is like to be reborn and live the trauma of climbing out of a grave. Because he is detached from the Scoobies, she felt she could open up to him while simultaneously cutting out her friends. Knowing he loved her, she used him just to feel something. Spike took full advantage of this situation, showing he really wasn't ready to be a better man yet.
What would they think of you if they found out all the things you've done?
The man and the demon continue to eternally battle within Spike throughout Season 6. Spike sings a line during Once More with Feeling, and I think it's his confession as to what he wants to be.
Have to go on living. One of us is living.
It does seem that Spike doesn't want to be dead anymore. He wants to be alive, and to see things as he should, and in turn, be the person that Buffy could love. He also doesn't want her feeling like she's still dead, like she is in hell. He knows she is strong enough to work through this and saves her from herself in this moment, committing another act of love. He loves Buffy, that much is blatantly true.
I don't hurt you.
I've tried to make it clear to you, but you won't see it. Something happened to me, the way I feel about you. It's different. And no matter how hard you try to convince yourself it isn't, it's real.
But soulless love is selfish love. It's toxic and it's brutal, and nothing will define this more than the gut-wrenching bathroom scene towards the end of Season 6. He initially went to Buffy to apologise for sleeping with Anya, but his baser instincts kicked in, and he tried to force himself on her, and he hurt her, something which he vowed he'd never do.
Ask me again why I could never love you.
Buffy, my God, I didn't...
Because I stopped you.
I'm not condoning Spike's actions, but without this unforgivable act, Spike would never have sought his soul. He cannot believe what he has done to her. Unable to forgive himself, he seeks out a legend and fights to be a better person. Fights for his soul. Love and fate were always the driving forces for both his actual life and undead life. Love always brought Spike to Sunnydale. He initially entered Sunnydale to cure his lover Drusilla. He returned again in Lover's Walk to try and get her back after she left him.
Love isn't brains, children. It's blood. Blood screaming inside you to work its will.
He came back during season 4 due to his infatuation with Buffy. And he returned again with his soul to prove to her that he could be a better man. During the church scene in season 7, Spike confesses to Buffy that he fought for his soul.
You got your soul back. Huh?
It's what you wanted, right?
For the first time ever, I think she really saw him for who he was supposed to be, and she felt his penance. She witnessed the change in him and knew that she had to help him through this journey of realisation. Her trust and belief in him helped Spike come to terms with who he was without a soul, and who he could be with one. She proved her belief in him when she rescued him from the first, and her newfound trust when she had his chip removed, proving to him how far detached from the monster he once was.
He can be a good man, Giles. I feel it.
I think because of these actions, Spike truly believed he could be better, and finally understood what real love was.
I believe in you, Spike.
He demonstrated how far he had come on his journey of self-realisation when he gave Buffy one of the most beautiful moments in the show.
You listen to me. I've been alive a bit longer than you, and dead a lot longer than that. I've seen things you couldn't imagine, and done things I prefer you didn't. Don't exactly have a reputation for being a thinker. I follow my blood, which doesn't exactly rush in the direction of my brain. So I make a lot of mistakes, a lot of wrong bloody calls.
100+ years, and there's only one thing I've ever been sure of.
You. Hey, look at me. I'm not asking you for anything. When I say I love you, it's not because I want you, or because I can't have you. It has nothing to do with me. I love what you are, what you do, how you try. I've seen your kindness and your strength. I've seen the best and the worst of you. And I understand with perfect clarity exactly what you are.
You're a hell of a woman.
You're the one, Buffy.
During the final battle, Spike died saving the world. His soul set ablaze, and the light that shone from it channeled through an amulet and destroyed the Hellmouth. His destiny complete, so we thought. He was resurrected again in Angel, this time, I think, not only to come to terms and make peace with his past horrors, but to also show Angel that there is miles to go before either of them can be redeemed for what they've done in the past. That story is for another video. So what are your thoughts? Were there any moments that you would have added into Spike's journey that I missed? Leave a comment down below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.